What's going on, my good people? My name is Kyle, and I'm back with Sundays with Me, episode 5, the series where I talk about quotes and lifestyle topics that I hope you find interesting and engaging and thought-provoking, and hopefully help you get your week off to a good start and help you stay productive and positive throughout the week. So, Sundays with Me, episode 5, we're back at it, and this is the 4th of July special episode. Happy Independence Day to everybody. Happy 4th of July. I do want to say, let's keep doing our best with this opportunity that we have in this beautiful country to continue building a more inclusive, welcoming, heartfelt, respectful, and kind environment for everyone, regardless of who you are. That's the baseline that we have to do in America to continue pushing forward and continue being a wonderful and excellent and innovative country that cares about all of its citizens and continues to try to push the envelope for what inclusivity and kindness can mean. So, happy 4th of July. I hope your day goes very well. I hope you have an excellent day. And I hope you're with family. I hope you let some fireworks off if that's what you're into. And let's go ahead and get into our topic for today. I also want to say I watched Loki episode, I think it was episode 4, and Black Widow is coming out in 5 days. Don't even get me started on how excited I am for those, for the next episode of Loki next week, this week, and then Black Widow. Oh my goodness, we've been waiting on this movie forever, dude, so I'm very excited. So without further ado, let's get into our topic for today. The topic for today that I've been thinking about a lot this week is passion versus interest. And I'm not going to give any quotes or anything here. I'm going to give a quote at the end. But passion versus interest is an interesting concept to me because it amazes me how much time we put into the things that we are disposable in, the avenues that we're disposable in, essentially the avenues where if we don't do something, someone else is going to do it. It amazes me how much the world is set up to pretty much make everyone do that. And right, that's the basis of a society, right? Everybody contributes to the greater whole. That's what keeps everything going. If we all just did our individual thing all the time, that wouldn't really help society function in the way it's supposed to. But it amazes me the ratio of how much time we put into the things that we quote unquote have to do versus the things that we want to do. And I'll go ahead and tell you a big reason why I'm doing this Sundays with Me series is because I was thinking to myself, if I am set to work a 9 to 5, to use my degree to enter a discipline where sometimes I am contributing to the success of an organization or a company or an entity rather than my own individual success, like completely doing something for an entity or an organization and like pretty much getting nothing out of it but a living, then at some point an income, at some point you're gonna have to get something else that you're not getting there through that exchange. That's a very simple exchange, right? You work, you get paid, right? And I'm not complaining about that, but I'm saying at some point you have to reach out and seek fulfillment at some other avenue. And you have to treat that with pretty much the same intensity and the same responsibility that you would treat to the things that you have to do. Because otherwise, you're not going to be interested enough to continue living a life where you are a disposable piece of a greater whole. You're not going to live a happy life like that. if that's the only thing that you are viewing yourself as. And I'll even say, like, I saw this Gary Vee post on Instagram that was like, when people call you lazy. I think that was the one I saw, where he's saying that some students, you call them lazy, you call them, any number of things, because they're not necessarily doing things the way they're quote unquote supposed to do it. And he's like, well, maybe they're just disinterested in your BS. Like, maybe these students are just disinterested in the concepts being presented to them, because literally they're not a means to any end. They just kind of float along. And I feel that a lot of society is set up in a similar way, where concepts are sort of presented to you that our brain intrinsically is trying to look for some kind of purpose in some of the things that we are taught we have to do, and it literally cannot find any. Like, so it's just, that's why I think that innately we have a desire that pushes us away from a lot of what society tries to push onto us. And overall, I think we have to ask ourselves sometimes, am I procrastinating right now? Am I being lazy? And does that have to do with disinterest, or am I just being lazy? Like, I think there's always an underlying reason to being disinterested or quote unquote lazy, because I just don't think that's how humans are designed to be. I think we're always looking for purpose. We're always looking for survival. So if those instincts are there, I mean, some things are just not, they just don't keep us interested, because we don't see a means to an end in them at all. And I don't really know where that fits into the grand scheme of life, because obviously there will always be things that you have to do that you don't want to do. And in no way, shape, or form am I trying to say that that's not supposed to be the case, because that's the way that society is set up, and it's kept our society continuing, our species continuing for a very long time. So I'm not trying to tear that down in any way, but I do have to think about the greater context, and that is it disinterest, or is it laziness? And then what do you do with that information? Do you look for something to supplement the disinterest, or do you look for a change? I think those are the questions that you have to continually ask yourself. If you can look for a change and you can get out of a situation that you're disinterested in, I think you have to give it a shot. But at the same time, it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I think that's just where I'm at. Where I am is just sort of looking for opportunities to supplement a process that is not completely set up for self-actualization, or reaching that sort of one of the highest goals of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that need to feel fulfilled, that you are being fully fulfilled in your individual, by being yourself, that you are being fulfilled as an individual, that you are getting the fulfillment that you need from life. I just don't think that in some ways that, at least I'll say in some ways, that you have to look for that on your own. And being disinterested is okay. Like, it's gonna happen. And I just think you have to operate within the context of that and understand what that means for your future. I think you have to keep asking yourself why you're disinterested, and really find the purpose in doing things seemingly without a purpose. And I'll even say that's why I try to pick a field and a degree where I can contribute to a greater purpose, to help people. Public health. I'm gonna spend my whole career helping people, and that's what I was thinking about when I was trying to pick a major. And I think I picked a good major for that, a great major for that. And I hope that I continue to do things with greater purposes. And I hope that everyone else has an opportunity to do that too, whether it be through an occupation or through the resulting disinterest that may formulate as a result of being a part of something that seemingly does not have a purpose. I hope that people use that energy to put it into getting fulfillment from something else. And that's where I'm going to leave off on that. So now that we've discussed our topic, let's go ahead and get into our quote for this Sunday. It's coming from Nipsey Hussle. May he rest in peace. I am doing a video essay right now where I'm discussing Nipsey Hussle a bit, and I was just thinking he drops a lot of gems. I was doing a little bit of research on his life, and he was really onto something. I mean, that's something that, you know, if you were clued into who Nipsey Hussle was at all, or even if you became clued in after he passed away, you know that he dropped gems while he was alive, and he was really onto something and really trying to push the black community forward. So I'll say this quote is coming from Nipsey Hussle on emovio.com, EMOOVIO.com. And Nipsey Hussle says, "Luck is just being prepared at all times, so when the door opens, you are ready." And that, I think, goes hand in hand with what we were just discussing before about looking for fulfillment. I mean, being prepared to live a fulfilling life, to being prepared, at least doing the things, building the architecture behind the benefits of fulfillment, I think is a continual process. It doesn't really have a clear start or end. You just sort of fall into building the life that you want for yourself based on the things you become privy to as you get older. You start looking for the things that you like about yourself, the things that become a part of your identity, and then you start building a life around that. And I think that continually putting that energy into yourself and working on yourself has to do with being a part of a greater whole and living a fulfilling life. So when it comes to like identity and purpose, I think you have to know yourself to understand what you want from life. And I think that if you're doing that preparation, you can be prepared to live the life you want to live. So at least that's how I'm looking at it from the angle of what we were already talking about. This quote could be, you know, sort of utilized in a lot of different contexts. Luck is just being prepared at all times, so when the door opens, you are ready. And I think that preparation is just the key to really finding fulfillment in a lot of cases. And it's a continual process, but I think we all have the potential to do it successfully. And I hope that we all do it successfully. And I hope you get opportunities to do that and look for fulfillment this week. And I hope you have an excellent week. Happy 4th of July again. And yeah, stay positive, and I hope you feel safe and loved wherever you are. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an excellent week, and I hope to see you next week.